Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. For those of you new here, my name is Ko-Fanta. I'm really excited today to share with you my journey of winning 3 scholarships last year. I have been fortunate enough to win 3 scholarships, namely Erasmus, which is prestigious and highly competitive scholarship for international students as well as EU students. The other one is Equity and Merit Scholarship from Manchester University. I think it is for East African students around 7 countries from East Africa. It's also competitive and it has 2 phases, like for just there's 2 types of scholarship into it, like distance as well as in person. The one I won was in person from Manchester University. The third one is Valerius scholarship from Belgium University, which is specifically from Antwerp University. So today I want to share strategies and tips which helped me to win this scholarship. In case you are searching for a scholarship and you want to study abroad, I believe this strategy will help you to boost your chance of winning a scholarship. One last thing is I also became reserved. I was reserved for Chevening scholarship last year. Being reserved for Chevening scholarship is almost comparable as winning the scholarship. So why I'm mentioning all these things information is that, like, throughout applying for this scholarship, I got rejected first, like on my first attempt, on my second attempt. Almost winning this scholarship, I win after, like, for some of them on my second attempt, for the other on my third attempt. So I accumulated a lot of experience with how to search the scholarship, how to write important documents like CV, motivational letters, how to also even craft your own, or how to pick the right recommenders. So I want to share these things with you because I believe it will help some of the applicants who really wanted to get your fully funded scholarship from EU or from US or other countries. So if you are one of them, stick around, and until the end I will share my own experience, and I believe it will help you boost your chance of winning the scholarship. I attached the email I get from the scholarship for your reference. And as you can see, it's very difficult also to pick one from all these author. So I finally decided and joined Erasmus, and currently I'm studying in France, and I'm happy for that. So without further ado, let's dive into it. My first strategy is researching the scholarship. Like, you may hear this from other alumni also, or you may already know this, but I can reassure you that researching the scholarship before you apply is the key strategy. For me, what I did is I researched a lot about the program itself before I applied. I analyzed the course content, the objective of the course outline, any kind of unique aspect of the course, like if it provides internship, master thesis, or if it has workshop or kind of mobility, because analyzing those unique activity of the program, knowing the objective, knowing the course content, helped me to craft my application, especially to inline my motivational letter, my CV, and even recommendation with the objective and the mission of the program, and that will help a lot to win the scholarship. In And the other thing in case of researching the scholarship is the other is even researching the course provider, specific professors. You can research a specific professor mostly on Google Scholar or ResearchGate, because most of the professors or researchers are on Google Scholar or on ResearchGate. What you have to see is their current research activities, their area of interest, their background, so that you can have hint about who are the professors and what is their background, what is their research interest. In some cases, you can align your future plan with their area of interest, but not always. But in some case, if you are really interested into it, you can align it, and that's also important. The other point when you research the scholarship is you have to contact alumni. Contacting alumni is not always easy. Some of them may not respond, but you can search them on LinkedIn. Most of international students are on LinkedIn, and what you can do is you can carefully read their profile link on LinkedIn, how they describe themselves, what type of skill they put on their LinkedIn profile, as well as type of projects they mentioned or type of internships they mentioned, so you can get some insight about the project of the program, about a specific skill you will acquire from the program. This is also important, especially even during the interview or during crafting your application. The last thing you can do, maybe not last, you may have more than this while you research the scholarship, search on YouTube, especially on YouTube, video about the program. Sometimes the course coordinator or the alumni release video about the course, about the program, and you can get tips and insight which is not available elsewhere, and it is very important. So search and watch the relevant video about the program. So in general, to sum up this, research the course itself, its content, the objective, mission, the unique aspect of the course, research on course provider, the specific professor, the research activities, and contact alumni, ask them questions, but don't ask simple question which is already available on the scholarship website. Obviously, they don't respond to such type of questions. And also watch videos on YouTube related to the program. The other strategy, and very quick, I can say it is very important, is knowing the scholarship selection process. This is what most applicants miss. Once they identify their program, the scholarship, they rush to apply. But you have to have the selection process in mind before applying. So simply, the selection process has different stages. The first stage is screening. Once you apply to a scholarship, what the selection committee do is the first thing is screening. And you have to have this in mind before applying. How they screen is that it's very simple. The first thing they see is whether the application is complete, whether you submitted all required documents or not. So you have to make sure that you submitted all the documents. The other thing they see is whether the document you submitted is according to the instruction or guidelines they specified. For instance, some scholarship may specify 2 pages of CV. If you submit 3 pages, this may disqualify you. Some scholarship mention minimum of 500 words for motivation. You may provide 400 or 300, this may disqualify. Some ask to submit in PDF, some ask in document, some ask in image for certain document, GP, PNG, whatever. Just follow the instructions. So this is one criteria of screening. The third and the very important thing is after it's complete according to the guidelines they provided, they move on to see your profile, whether you are eligible or not. if you are not eligible based on your profile, obviously you are going to be disqualified. So before you apply, check the eligibility criteria if you wanted to move on to the next stage, and submit complete application and submit all the documents required according to the guideline or instructions I provide. If you do this accordingly, obviously you will progress to the next stage. So the next stage of scholarship selection is what they do is the next is reviewing the application. This is an important stage, and you have to know this before submitting your application. In the review stage, they have their own criteria, or what we call rubrics. So I don't know if I pronounce it right, but it's okay. The criteria, most of the time we don't know, only the selection committee knows, but some scholarship mention that on their website, like the quality of ideal candidate, what type of ideal candidates they are looking for. If you see this on a scholarship website, try to demonstrate those qualities, try to showcase those skills and theoretical knowledge in your CV, in your motivation, and even in your recommendation, the reference letter. So focus on that and try to showcase, try to demonstrate that, because that's very important. One way or another, their criteria to select, to pick applicant, candidate for the interview stages based on the quality and characteristics of the ideal candidate. You may not fulfill all the qualities, the characteristics they want, but at least demonstrate 2 or 3 qualities in detail and support them with example, with evidence, like result, impact you have. And also try to be holistic and showcase your also personal aspect, because some program also needs that. Obviously, knowing this is very helpful, and it will help you to progress to the next stage, the interview stage. But if the program not mention the quality or the characteristics of ideal candidate, you can figure out this from researching the course objective, as I say, the mission, specific content, and also by reviewing the alumni profile or like social media, their LinkedIn. You can figure out to some extent what qualities, what type of skills are there, so you can showcase that, and it will obviously help you to progress to the interview stage. So the third stage is interview stage, and if you made to the interview stage, congratulations. I can say 50% you made it, and it is like 50-50 now. So in the interview stage, I'm not going to comment on the interview stage. There are a lot of videos out there on YouTube you can watch, and I'm live. They can give you what you have to do, like before the interview, during the interview, and the post-interview. But what I can say is just, I don't think this is my strongest part, but what I can say is keep it like clear during your interview, make answer to the point, and give them details supported with examples, with results, like with figure, with numbers. Be positive, like be open-minded, and just like focus during the interview rather than being nervous, and rather than thinking how they judge you. Just be authentic there and defend the point you mentioned in your application. And most of the time they revolve around what you mentioned. There is no new question. They just wanted to know whether you are like kind of person they read from your application. So you have to show that, you have to demonstrate that personal in person. So just congratulations if you made to the interview stage. You have to be happy, you have to be proud of yourself, as well as you have to be ready for it. And there are a lot of resources out there, just look at them. The other strategy I can mention is crafting your CV, motivational letters, specific to the program. Most of the time students submit generic one. They submit the same CV for different scholarship. So even some students may submit the same motivation to different scholarship, or they use the same CV and the same motivation they used last year. No, that's not the good way to apply. That's not the right way. You have to update your CV, you have to update your motivation every time you apply, and you have to use a specific CV and a specific motivation for different scholarship. Sometimes they give you the instruction on how to create, like what type of CV. Like some of the scholarship may ask you in EU to use Europass CV format. Use that one if they ask it. But if they didn't ask it, you can use whatever you want, but your CV should be clear, well organized, and simple. Don't make it like a long 3-page, something like that. If you can, try to limit it to 1 page, but organize it. At least the CV, for me, okay, from my experience, it should has your contact information. You have to have summary on the top of the CV. That summary is maybe professional summary, but if you have done something at professional level, or if you are fresh graduate, you can say like objective, and this summary should be like 2 to 3 sentence or a statement which showcase who you are, your profession, and what you achieved, if you achieved something, and your future plan. Short. And you should mention your education, work experience. If you don't have work experience, you can put volunteer activity, and it is very important. Put volunteer activity, extracurricular activities, and also professional membership you're involved in. If you have honor and awards, mention that, and the relevant skills for the program. List basic relevant skills you have, the one you have. Language, if you have something published content, it can be video, it can be scientific articles, and if it is relevant to the program, you can put the link to that content on your CV. And if it is research, you may mention few of them. If you have many research, you can mention 3 key research which is relevant to the program. If it is not relevant, you may put the link to your Google Scholar site profile or ResearchGate profile. For the case of CV, this for the CV. In the case of motivational letter, I'm not going to discuss in detail here because it takes to my time. I will prepare maybe another separate video for that. Some scholarship mention specific criteria or like a specific question, like prompts. They may ask 3 questions and you have to respond to that question. If they give you such type of prompt and a question, you have to respond to it. Just respond to that question. But if they didn't provide that question and only mention the minimum or the maximum word, you can craft it yourself. And for me, how I crafted my motivational letter is, the first part is just introduction, like 2 sentences or something like that. That's in the introduction, who am I and why am I writing the letter itself. And the thing I mostly focus on to grasp their attention is, why am I applying for scholarships? This is I always focus on the why part. Why I'm applying to the scholarship. If my why is very relevant, justifiable, it's very important to grasp the attention of the reviewer. And it is the important thing which help you to win. Why you are applying for the scholarship for that specific program, what type of problem you want to address. So you have to mention that part why. Then you have to mention your qualification. When I say qualification, it's not about your degree or something, but what type of knowledge, skills, specific course you covered so far, which will help you to excel if in the program, if they pick you. So what type of knowledge, skills, background, what type of course, what type of online or certificate, what you have, what background you have to successfully finish the course. So you have to mention that, and sometimes you have to also mention why you pick that specific program at that specific university. You have to have justification for that, and also you have to add a little bit of your personal aspect, personally, what type of personal quality you have, which is relevant for the course. Like, because some the reviewers are holistic and they want to know more of your personal thing, also the qualities and the characters. Finally, your future plan should be included in the closing statement. Obviously, this is just a short list of things. If you want more detail, I will prepare a specific video on how to craft your motivation based on my own experience. I don't mean this is the only way you have to craft, or this is not prescription, something instruction you have to follow. It's just my own experience. I'm sharing my own experience. So think that way. Not finally, but the other thing I want to talk is just take standard language test. If you did it so far, if you don't have a standard English language test like IELTS, TOEFL, just take that. Most scholarships specify even as a minimum requirement to apply for the scholarship. So prepare for the IELTS or TOEFL based on the requirement of the specific program you want to apply for or your personal preference, because in most of the cases these two test is acceptable by many universities in the country, so it doesn't matter which one you take as far as you achieved the minimum requirement. Most of the time for IELTS more than 6.5. In my case, I get overall 7, and that is acceptable by most of the universities. Not big, but it is still acceptable. So just prepare for that. To prepare for that, there are a lot of resources online. I'm not going to comment on that, but there are a lot of resources which is very useful. Just watch YouTube videos. But the main thing which helped me is getting the official books. Both the IELTS as well as TOEFL has their own official book, and thus if official book prepared by for instance, in case of IELTS, there is prepared by Cambridge. So try to get that book. They sell it online, but there is also a way to access for free. You know it, obviously, most of the time. When you search for scientific article, and they ask for money, you will use certain site to download it for free. You can do the same thing and you can access it. Finally, choose the right recommender. The recommendation is very important. Choose the right person who know you personally, who can attest to your strengths, your quality as a candidate. So when you pick, maybe you can pick your advisor, supervisors, other professors who taught you some courses, or your employer at work. I don't know which one best fits for your specific condition, but what I can say is provide them with your CV, with the what type of quality and what type of skills and quality the program demand, the one you wanted to apply for. Just give them a hint, something about the program you are applying to, and give them your CV. That way they can craft a specific recommendation for you. In most of the cases, the professors or someone who is going to write recommendation letter, they are busy. So they may ask you to craft your own recommendation first, like a kind of draft. If you get that chance, that's very important. You have to craft it in a way that it demonstrates, showcase your qualities, your achievement, and always support what you write. The quality, support them with example, with results. That way you can boost the chance that you can win the scholarship. To conclude, to sum up, research well the program before you apply. Know the scholarship selection process from the beginning, and craft your CV, motivational letter, even in some case recommendation, in line to the specific requirement as well as the specific quality required by the program you are applying to, and take standard test. So these are the 5 strategies which helped me to win this scholarship, and I think this will help you. So focus on this, and also see other videos which is helpful online. There are a lot of videos online on YouTube, so that you can boost your chance of winning the scholarship. And I was going to prepare other videos on how to write CV or resume, and also how to write motivational letter for scholarship. I will going to dive into details on that video, so stick around. And if you like this content, like the video, subscribe to my channel to notified early when I release other important videos. So this is it from me. Good luck with your application. I wish you all the best. Bye bye.